Gold, how long the F is this going to go up? You are not alone in asking that question. But I am so bullish on gold, man. Here's the problem, right? Now, again, and I say this, and I know a lot of people are short. It's painful. These are the types of learning lessons that really suck. When you are short a rally like this and just begging for the thing to turn around. If this is you, trust me when I say I've been there. I've made those mistakes before. It's painful. Have you ever had investors come through trying to buy A1? Plenty of them. We've had a lot of people who are like, hey, you know, is it for sale? And it's not for sale. You're buying my fun, right? If you were to buy my company, then what would I go do? I'd go be bored. Anyways, if you are short gold into this rally, Jonas says, would you get in now? Wait for a pullback. Definitely the latter, right? There's nothing I can do here. And this is the true testament. These types of movements, guys, are what test a lot of resolve for traders, because if you're short in these moves, then this is devastating, right? These types of moves, you're like, how can this possibly happen? How can this go up? And again, painfully, and I'm not trying to press on the wound, but this could keep going. Like you could go right to 4,000. If you think that is impossible, if you think, no, gold has to have a pullback, I'm telling you, don't hold your breath. It's really dangerous to make those types of assumptions. If you want to learn a really hard lesson, assume that markets have to pull back. They can go a lot longer. It's the old expression, right? The Warren Buffett expression, markets can remain irrational longer than most investors can remain solvent. It's something like that, right? Basically, markets can go up for a lot or down for a lot longer than people think is reasonable, right? So this could be, and I'm not saying like, oh, I think it's going to do this, but there's a realm of possibility where gold is making a run for 4,000 right now. If you think that's impossible, I've got another cool chart for you in the currency world that blew up a lot of people, which was the dollar yen in 2022. See this one, guys? Look at this. So dollar yen just moved and moved and moved during all the rate hiking stuff. 48% rise in the dollar versus the Japanese yen. Almost 5,000 pips in one direction with not very much pullback. This is a painful lesson that traders oftentimes learn the hard way, meaning they're just short on something like gold because they think, quote unquote, it's gone too far, it's got to pull back, or it's got to reverse. You're in a monster uptrend in gold. Like, if you are not seeing that, right, these are then it's time to face the facts, right? If you are short on gold, look, could we see a pullback? Sure. But if you have no reason, like I had so many comments, guys, and I'm not saying this again, I know how painful it is. If you're caught in a short position, what I'm saying is like daggers, it hurts, right? But look, if you're stuck in a short position and you're like, holy junk, this thing is killing me, and I'm just hoping for a reversal, let's face the facts together. If you don't have a reason, if you don't have a strategy, a back-tested system that you've tested over and over and over, and you are now in a situation where you're like, what do I do? If you're ever in a situation in your trading where you say, what do I do now? You didn't prepare for this. And I hate to be I'm just the messenger, right? I'm not trying to make you feel bad or worse. People don't like to face the realities. I've been in the circumstance, so I know the pain that you're feeling. But if you're in that circumstance and you're sitting there and you're like, this thing is just melting up and I'm just praying for a reversal because otherwise I'm going to lose a lot of money, you didn't prepare for this dynamic. And you have to be prepared for some crazy, crazy moves in markets. This is why position sizing being small is not an option. It's a requirement to long-term successful trading, right? You're not a day trader, you're a swing trader? Yes, I'm a swing trader. I'm primarily a macro fundamental trader, and I primarily trade the 4-hour and the daily chart. So what I want to say is, if you're not in gold, right? If you're wondering what does gold do next, right? Nobody knows. Nobody, I can't tell you with certainty what gold's going to do. I am bullish on gold. I have a reason and a plan to stay bullish on gold because I have a systematic
market analysis, free trading courses, edge finder data, and special offers. What do these things all have in common? They're all available for you right now inside of our free Discord. You can click the link down in the description below to join the free Discord today and get access to all of this and more. Stay up to date with all the latest trading information and A1 content. And if you want to upgrade to our Gold VIP Discord that features every single trade that Trader Nick and our other professional analysts take, you can find the links for that in the description as well. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today.
Calculation here that we use to determine if something is bullish or bearish. It's not a certainty, it's not a guarantee. But gold is getting a very bullish reading on the edge finder. It's melting higher. Economic data looks good, technical data to the upside, sentiment data looks good as well, right? Institutions are buying the heck out of gold. We talked about this in Sunday's video, right? Technicals look clearly bullish. All-time high breakouts are bullish. We've said this for years on the channel. A break of the all-time highs is usually bullish. I'd rather buy an all-time high than an all-time low. Why? Because an object in motion, what is the Newton phrase? I was sleeping during science class, but an object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Simple concept. If you're short gold and you have no strategy or reasoning why, I think you really need to take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing. Because at this point, if you are just saying, please go down, that's not a strategy. That is hope, and that is gambling, right? Newton's law of motion. There you go. Something in motion tends to stay in motion. It is present in markets. Numerous studies have found that momentum tends to be a strong factor in markets. So if I'm looking at gold, where do I sell it? You do what you want, but I don't sell gold when it's like this. This is not a oh, where do I sell this chart? This is a where do I buy this chart? Okay? We don't sell massive uptrends on my side of things. I look for buying the dip opportunities, and I'm not long gold myself, but I have a really good size position on silver, and I just trailed stops further this morning. Silver is running hot too. So if you're looking at silver, right, I trailed my stop just below. Look at this beautiful candle. Again, at support, we had buyers stepping in. You could see the signs on those wicks. Buyer stepped in, boom, up we went, back to the top end of this range. This morning, I trailed my stop right below this area, and I'm looking for a break through these highs as a catalyst for another possibility to trail stops. Gold is making me jealous. Man, telling you what, I feel that. Because if you're in these moves, then you're like, heck yeah, we caught it. If you're short these moves, you're devastated. And if you're not in these moves, you're frustrated by this. When the chart moves like this actually, I've said this in the past, these types of moves frustrate the most people. There's a small minority of traders who are loving it, who are riding it hot. Most traders are either short and in agonizing pain, or watching it drift away without them in frustration. Now, in this circumstance, I am fortunately on the ride. Like, I'm in the minority, I know, but I'm not always in the minority. There's a lot of times where I miss the move too. So I'm not going to, act like, oh, well, you should have just known what to do. No, sometimes you're going to miss moves, and that's okay. Like, the markets are still going to be here tomorrow, and all we can do is look for the next setup. If you're not in the metals move here, look, don't do something stupid. That's what most people will do. When they're missing the move, they're like, oh, I'm just going to buy it because it just keeps going up. And then that's when it reverses course. Or, just don't be that person. You have to wait for trades to come to you. And if you miss them, guess what? Trading's hard. You missed it. Move on. Find something else to trade. Do not chase. Do not fight the move. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you want. But I'm telling you from my experience, those are both mistakes. If you short this thing, you will be furious if it goes up to 3,700 and 3,800. If you chase this thing, a mild pullback for the people who are in it, they're like, okay, yeah, a little pullback, that's fine. But if you chase it, a mild pullback crushes you. So just, it's a temptation to try and place trades up here. In my opinion, there's just not a lot to do. So again, you do what you want, but these types of moves are very prone for people to make big mistakes. They're shorting it with no stop loss, no strategy, no back test, and they're just like, please go down. That's a big mistake. And again, I'm not teasing you if that's you, because I've been in that circumstance too. And other people are frustrated that they're missing the move. And then there's some of us, and I am thankful and fortunate to be on the right side of this, who are in the move. Like I'm long silver. I've been trailing stops. This has been an incredible move. That did we see it coming? Debatably, kind of. We were bullish on gold and silver before the moves, because the edge finder was starting to flag, hey, we've got really good combinations of sentiment data, technical data, and economic data. All three of our categories were suggesting gold and silver could be ready to pop, and they did, right? So we can then start looking for the next setups, but that's what we do on this channel, is we talk about what's happening within the edge finder. We're looking at the economic data, we're looking at the trend, we're looking at sentiment, and we're combining all three to build a better trade plan. Again, trend is up, so there's no shorting, right? Trend is up. There's no buying because we haven't had a pullback. And we just, again, you have to be patient. Have to be patient. So here's another example. The S&P 500, I'm pretty neutral to slightly leaning bearish on the stock market, but you won't catch me in any shorts. Why? This thing's in an uptrend. Things in a really strong uptrend. I can't short the stock market when it's in a strong uptrend. My rules just, again, I'm a momentum trader. So I'm looking for momentum to continue. I'm not looking to try and fight it, right? Please talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, so I have a short position on Bitcoin. It's not going so well. And if it does break through these highs, then I'm just going to take a loss and call that one good. Looking for downside on it, but if we don't get it, like I said, I'll just trail out. We broke this level of support and have been retesting it and finding sellers coming back in. So I'm looking for this thing to roll over. If it does, then great. I can manage the trade, look to trail stops on it. But if it doesn't, if we push through these highs, then I will close out the trade and just take a loss. I'm short IBIT, down 648 bucks on the trade here. So if that stops out, it'll just be a loss and I'll move on. The silver trade is just insane. Oh, I need to trail my stop on this side. Hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this trail the same distance. So I want to go 5.8 from my entry. 5.8 is going to be right here. 36.64 is where I want to trail my stop to. Okay, confirm. Nice. Okay. And then this was our area of support where we found buyers once again. Now, if you're wondering, why am I trading SLV? For traders in the US, you probably already know that CFDs are illegal in the US. So I can't trade XAG USD, right? So I can't trade the CFD variation, but I can trade SLV, which is an ETF, or I could trade silver futures. I just prefer to trade the ETF. I've traded stocks my whole life. Well, my whole trading life, I should say, ever since I was a baby. I'm just kidding. But, you know, I've always traded stocks, and I feel more comfortable trading ETFs than futures. Not that one is vastly superior. Holding costs on ETFs are very low, which is what I love as a swing trader. But we are sitting back at the highs. Trade is floating a really nice P&L. And if we can, like I said, so Bitcoin, if we break through the highs, I'll take a loss on this one. Silver, if we can push through the highs, then I will trail stops into profit further. We talked a little bit about the commitment of traders data on the Sunday video, but part of the reason I still really like silver and gold is because institutions are still really long gold and silver. Take a look at this, 80% long silver, 83% long gold in terms of a ratio basis. Big players are still on the long side. And one thing I really liked is on the latest buys and sells, take a look at silver. They added long contracts substantially and decreased short contracts. Really bullish activity going on under the hood. When we look at institutional activity, they're essentially buying silver. They're also buying gold pretty heavily, but really silver being the top of the list, I'm not complaining because silver is the one I chose over gold, which actually has been actually the better call of the two. Not in the last like few days, but in the last few weeks, silver has actually performed really strong. I can show you this by looking at the XAU USD / XAG USD. And I think I'm going to add this to the Edge Finder because I want to add that ratio. I probably will do that. Take a look here. This is the gold to silver ratio. And what we can see is we do have some momentum forming to the downside here, right? So you have what was gold outperforming on for a little while, and now silver is actually outperforming. This chart going down tells you that silver is in control. Silver is outperforming gold. And so I think that is set to continue. I think silver, if you're going to get a real, if you want to see metals keep going, historically, you want to see silver outperform. Silver is the more volatile metal, believe it or not. A lot of people think gold moves more than silver. That is not true. Silver moves more than gold historically on its historical volatility as well as its implied volatility. Silver, pull up the options chain and you can see what I'm talking about. The implied moves for silver are almost always higher than gold. Take a look, for example, when we had the pandemic, right? When metals went parabolic, they went crazy, silver outperformed. When you go back, let's see if we can go back far enough to get back to like some of the other crazy moments, right? Here was, 2000 up to 2011, where you had just a metal Super Bowl movement. Silver vastly outperformed gold, right? In down periods for metals, gold tends to outperform. In really strong bull markets, like I'm talking about crazy strong bull markets, that's where silver can just play ball and just can go crazy. And so I am very bullish on metals, and I think silver could actually outperform gold. Now, granted, this chart going down does not mean gold, like if they're both going up, they can both go up, right? Gold could still do very, very well. I just like both, to be honest. Like I actually, if you ask like which one are you more favorable right now, silver, but I also like gold. So, to be honest, I like both prospects. Both are getting good bullish systematic scores within the Edge Finder. Gold is actually getting the higher score now.
For everyone who has been in the Discord VIP mentorship meeting this morning, raise up your hand. And what am I going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to talk about dollar, yen, S&P, gold, you name it. But more than anything else, we need to help this community, if there is in need, to become a better trader. Not financial advice whatsoever, but what we discussed yesterday in the group, and on the recordings yesterday, I said I did not like the dollar positioning. It was too low or too high, depending on where the dollar falls on the currency pair. And I said, hey, chill out. Guess what happened when the market opened? Dollar yen, that I thought, well, we can probably look for a pullback here. I don't know if I like it. I probably won't take it. I didn't. And it went absolutely 80 pips above my initial thought of a process of an entry. And I said, whoa, chill out, mate. I ain't going to do that. That's about having a plan, didn't execute on it, but having a plan, follow up on a plan, sticking to the plan, and not racing and running after the market. I also said dollars, euro dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar. I don't like the current trading environment, and guess what happened? It went absolutely bananas overnight. What do we do about that? Nothing. We wait for the pullback, because I said yesterday I want to see a new higher high and I want to see the pullback. So not all I do today, but I really want to see a pullback. And that's the power of having a clear plan, having a clear decision-making process. Don't let yourself be fooled and doomed by gold. I saw someone says that they sold gold earlier, and I'm like, okay, tell me your reasoning for that. And I hope it's more than just a technical analysis, because as we promote for this channel is there is more to there's more to the story than just technical analysis. And I have said, and I didn't trade, that I would like to buy 3280, sorry, about down here. That's about 1st of August. And then I probably would have been a part of that. I probably should have bought here as well, but I really want great, strong support before buying. I don't want to be in drawdowns or drag down or whatever that is about. And then it went higher. It's all about planning. It's all about being ahead of the curve, ahead of the market. Don't react to the market, because what's going to happen now? Well, I can always make a fun little plan here. We can put a imaginary entry, stop loss below previous low, and then we say, okay, until forever then. How is that going to play out for us? And of course, nobody would like to buy here or sell here or anything, but my point with it is, what and where is your overall strategy? Where is overall your plan? And since I don't have any entry here, I can't enter because it's way too high. So how do you then work against your FOMO? How do you work against your emotions? How do you work against because I have traded FOMO. I have ran after things, and I have run after price and market and whatever. What always tends to happen, always, it hits your stop loss. And if you look at your statistics over time, you take a grab of your history, you look through your history, you look through your trades, you look through your exits, and you're like, why did I do that? Self-control. Who said my name earlier? Curtis? Somebody called me Yen Man. But yeah. Dollar yen is definitely on the move. Yes. And for my trade setup situation, I probably should have sold up there. I was asleep. Like resistance wise, and I think I said something in the direction of it's unlikely, but it can happen. And the unlikeliness happened. And now this pullback, I'm just going to remove it. This pullback, yeah, it's okay. But again, overall, is a range. And I need more strength on yen. I need more, okay, strengthening is good enough. I need it to be stronger, basically. I need it to trend higher. I need it to be strong, independent. Then I can probably take a pullback. And I think so. I traded pound yen in a range, and I saw that later, and I like, I probably shouldn't do that again. The sole reason for this is Japanese yen futures, by the way, the 6J1 exclamation. I can also do the yen basket just to show you that this is all the major yen pairs against yen and aggregate it into some kind of index to show the core, or at least try to show the core yen current move. But okay, cool. So is it better for gold? Is it better to wait for gold is in the price discovery mode? Basel? let me think about that for a moment loudly. Now, you as a trader, you as a professional, what are you? What is your competitive advantage? Where do you, not only stop looking at what market does and should do and could do and has been doing. Okay, we are high. Okay, what then happens? We can take the S&P 500 for that matter. Do you buy now? Do you generally think this is going to go higher? Or should you have bought Friday for that matter? Should you have bought second Tuesday last week? Was that a great buy for you? The only way you can answer that with confidence, without having a lot of emotions, have you done it before? And have you consistently, profitably done this before? And I haven't consistently over time traded gold profitably, buying very high. I'm very careful on gold. I'm very careful on high volatility manipulated assets. There has been some CFTC has been sending out some fines over the years over manipulation in the metals market, previously at least, and I can say that, hey, that is no longer happening. So I'll be very, very careful in the sense that I want only a specific level or specific setup on the level, and then I leave everything else. Because why do I trade gold? Why would you trade gold? Why is the purpose of trading gold? Is for the sole purpose of hedging your other assets, your other positions against stock market for that matter. And do you then have those two in combination? Then sure, that's up to you. But trade gold for me personally as for money gain, trading gain, no, I am unable to trade that profitably. I do apologize for that. But okay. So Toby was in the meeting yesterday. She was here this morning. Can you testify how on a scale of 1 to 10 how great it was? If 1 is horrible and 1 was great. The reason why is I thought it was okay. But again, I can't say anything at all if it has no impact whatsoever on you as a trader. Pound, I said I want deeper pullbacks. And again, where is this setup? Where is this support? And as Nick talked about earlier, I have this support double bottom or a bottom, higher high, higher low. That's going to hold on forever. That is, if you find those support levels, it's going to hold on forever. If it comes down again to 134, is that even possible? I don't think so. Okay, what is the next mode? Trend trading, and then that's the next level of support. Didn't get hit, we have made a higher high, then we have to use that as a level of support. And that is where not a lot of traders, but I found a lot of market move says a lot of market movers or retail traders are thinking this is great support and resistance, only to find we have moved very far away from what should be the entry, and this is just liquidity grab. So buying here on a setup wise, it's probably not my favorite thing to do in this entire world.
Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.